All right, and welcome back to the forecast card. Another solid goal scorer day. I went 2 for 3 again. Fortunately, Sam Bennett, 5 shots, leads his team in shots on net, but unfortunately, wasn't able to get a goal. Um, Pretty frustrating one. A lot of really good chances too. They just couldn't fall for some reason. Thomas Hurdle, Vegas scored a ton of goals. I think he got the fourth one, and Frank Petrano scored the first goal for the Ducks. So pretty non-sweat free, a little over a unit in gains, bringing us to 2.26 on the year, and bringing us to 7 and 8 on just picking singles, which is pretty good considering most of these are plus odds. So let's keep it rolling into my 3 favorite for today. All right, heading on to game number 1, we have Toronto heading on the road to play the Rangers. I'm gonna go back to the well here. We're gonna give Austin Matthews one more shot here to get a goal. He did come through for us on the first day that I selected him. Um, but his numbers are just too good to pass up, especially at plus odds. He currently leads the Leafs in 5-on-5 and 5-on-4 expected goals over the last 5 games, 10 games, and on the season. Over the last 10 games, he's had 13 more shots on goal than anyone else on his team. Uh, he's the he scored the only goal in the last time they played the Rangers, where they lost 4-1, and he had 9 shots on goal. He hasn't scored in his last 2 games, and if he wants any chance at catching Draisaitl, I think he's going to likely be going to be a little bit desperate here, especially since Marner's kind of been stealing all of his thunder after Marner beat him in Four Nations and now has been like the lead goal scorer over the last few days. So, despite only having 2 goals in the last 10 games, he has an expected goal number of 6.82. I think he's super due to score here. Goalies can only stop him for so long. He leads the team in high danger opportunities on 5-on-5 and on the power play. And statistically, my model has the Leafs projected to score the most goals today of the 6 games, 6 teams playing in the 3 games today. So, number 1, let's start with Austin Matthews. Heading on to game number 2, we have the Kings heading on the road to play Dallas. Now, Alex Lafreniere currently leads the team in expected goals over the last 10 games with 5.36 or 0.49 per game. He leads the team in the last 10 games in high danger scoring opportunities with 21. He's tied in the lead in shots on goal with 32 over the last 10 games. He's currently the primary scoring option on Power Play 1 with the highest PP expected goals despite not having a single Power Play goal in the last 10 games. Leading the Power Play shots with 8. I think he's super due. Model has both the Kings and the Stars expected to score about the same amount of goals today, but I think the Kings are in a good revenge spot, and the Stars have been taking a lot more penalties than the Kings lately with a slightly worse goalie, so I think the Kings take this one. Last time these two teams played, Lafreniere scored 1 goal in that last matchup. And again, he's on a 2-game goal drought. I think he's going to break that again today. Dallas's third line, defensive pair, has the 6th worst expected goals per 60 on the Stars, out of 40 potential lines on the year. And Lafreniere is likely going to be going up against that third line as he's been getting fourth line minutes. And despite being moved to the fourth line, his line is still the second in expected goals, likely because they have a lot of talent on that line with him and Byfield playing against some low-end defensive pairings. So I really like him at plus 300. I think on BetMGM, I think this is a no bet, a no sweat bet. And to final off the parlay, we have Martin Nikas on the Avs. They're going to be at home this game against Minnesota. Now, McKinnon dominates basically every single statistical spot for goal scorers on the Avs, but he's yet to score on back-to-back games since the New Year's. And I think this is a trend where when he gets his goals, he starts kind of looking to be more of a passer, especially to the people who assisted him on his last few goals. So I'm expecting Nikas to be the number 1 option on the power play, with McKinnon looking to pass to him more often than not. And he also plays with him on the first line as well. Now, Wild, in the last 10 games, they've been a top 10 team in penalties. And Nikas is, again, like I just said, number 2 option on the Avs PP with the 2nd highest expected goals on the power play. Despite Nikas being new to the team, he already ranks 5th in expected goals per 60, 5th in shots per 60, and is averaging the 2nd most time on ice behind Makar and sometimes Taves. Assisting on 3 goals the last game, he's officially on a 3-game goal drought. And yeah, so as I expected, McKinnon's probably going to look to pass more this game. He rarely scores on back-to-back games, so I like Nikas here to be his number 1 option. Over the last 5 games, Nikas is ranked 2nd expected goals per 5 games on the power play, just behind Mac. And the model predicts the Avs to be the team that scores the 2nd most goals today. And the last time they played, they were kind of embarrassed, 1-4. where they only put up 1 goal against the Wild. I expect them here at home to come back with a lot of energy, similarly to how they came back last game, kind of dominating the second game of head-to-head, especially since they've been playing really well as of lately. So give me Martin Necas at plus 200 as my third goal scorer. And as always, I always shop around by odds for these singles. But for the parlay, I typically just use them on Bet365 because that's where I have most of my bankroll. It's just kind of easier that way. But if you were to take all the 3 goal scorers on Bet365, you'd get 2,076 as the 3-leg parlay. Obviously, days like today where there's only 3 games, it's a bit more limited in the options. So I would go a little less heavy if you are tailing. I'm probably only going to bet 2.25 units on 2 goal scorers, 0.5 on Matthews, and 0.1 on the parlay. So I'm only going to put out 1.1 units instead of the classic 1.6 that I typically put out. Just because today, a couple of these games I probably wouldn't have picked for the parlay. So, anyways, that's it. Hopefully we have another winning day. And if you're tailing, let me know down below. Cheers.